Hey there, what's up? Why is you there? Thank you so much for coming back for another video. Love you guys so much. So today we're going to be doing a halo eye. I'm just going to take my MacBook palette, tried and true. I love it so much. And now we're just gonna get straight into it. So I'm gonna take that pink eyeshadow there. I'm going to be using this brush, this angled brush, to deposit that shadow not all over my eye, but above my crease in the center and on the sides. So, looking straight forward with my eye open initially, I'm placing that shadow down, and the reason I'm doing that is because I have hooded eyes, and doing this allows me to see where exactly that eyeshadow is going to be when I'm done with the final look. So I'm just depositing that color, and notice that I'm not going, like I said, all over my eye. So I'm leaving the center of my lid blank because that's where we're basically going to do that halo cut crease anyway, so it wouldn't make sense to put shadow there. And I'm making sure that I really get into the corners of my eye as I'm showing you here right now. So I'm just going to keep packing that and packing that. So now it's time to blend out that eyeshadow, girl. So I'm taking a blending brush and I'm using that transition shade. I'm calling it the transition shade because it's my skin tone, so basically a blank eyeshadow. And I'm going to be placing that on the very edges of where I just put that, and I'm using little circular motions like this on the edges. You just want to do that so you can get that really feathered look. And now I'm just going to continue blending. We love to blend over here. If you do not blend your eyeshadows, electric chair. Electric chair. Please blend your eyeshadows. Okay, sis? Stop playing Tetris with your eyeshadows in 2020. So I'm just going to continue doing that. Now I'm going back in with the pink eyeshadow because I felt like some of it got lost. And basically, this is what you're going to be doing for makeup in general. You can go back and forth between your eyeshadows just to make sure you get that perfect blend and to make sure you get the intensity that you want. So the next step is actually doing the halo part of the halo eye. So I'm taking my concealer, and forgive me, I should have done that before. I made a mistake. I forgot to actually film it. But anyway, here's what I'm doing. So after I put that concealer, I'm tilting my head down, but I'm looking up at the same time. And the reason I'm doing that is that the concealer can basically show me how far up to go. Do you see that? Notice the gaps between where I initially placed the concealer and where it made the new mark. Yes, it can be very deceiving. So I'm going to take my concealer brush now and basically actually do the halo cut. So I just drag it all the way down first, and now I'm doing this in real time so you can see basically what I did. Now, for me to get that halo shape, what I'm doing is that I'm using my concealer brush in an angled way. So I'm not just pulling it straight down all the time. You would notice that I kind of go from side to side, and I'm doing that at an angle because to do the halo eye, or for it to really have that halo effect, the top part of the concealer would have to be wider and the base of it would be narrow to kind of get that type of look. So that's what I was going for with this. So now you really want to take your time when you are doing this. And this is just a close-up. You see I'm pulling the concealer brush at an angle to kind of give me that fanned out look that I was going for. I'm just going to continue to add that concealer until I'm satisfied with the shape, and then I'm going to do the same thing to my other eye. And by the way, you do want to make this dry down a bit before you move on to the next step, which is using our MAC mixing medium. You know, we love to use this to keep our shimmers in check. All right, and then I'm going to be using this small brush to apply that. I'm going to be putting some on the back of my hand, and then I'm going to place that in all the spots where I previously put the concealer. Now mind you, putting the MAC mixing medium on top of the concealer is going to kind of activate it again, but yeah, like I'm saying, just make sure it dries down before you move on to the shimmer or the glitter or whatever it is that you're using to put in the center of the halo eye. So I tend to work in the center first and then work my way to the edges, just because I don't want to go ahead and make any mistake. Taking that shade at the bottom there called Dahlia and my shader brush, I am going to just take some from the pan and apply that in the area where I have the concealer. So I do an initial swipe all the way down. Like I said, I like to work from the center first and then work my way out. So the same technique I used to do the concealer, that's what I'm using to do with the shimmer shadow. And as I get closer towards the top of where the concealer is, I'm just going to really take my time and make sure that I'm not going too much over the pink, because I do want to have an actual line there separating the pink eyeshadow and the shimmer. But then here's the catch, guys. So after I put this, I didn't like it. Look at my stand crease. So I went back into the palette and I took the other shade called Casablanca, which is more of a golden tone, and I'm putting it basically over the same area where I put the first shimmer. I didn't want to wipe it off, so that's why I just put it on top of it. Now take a look at what I'm doing here. To make sure it really goes on my lash line, I flipped my brush upwards and just kind of rubbed it in at the bottom there. Now I'm going to put the second coat of my MAC mixing medium, and this is what is really going to lock in the shimmer so that it doesn't transfer. So it's not enough to just put it on the base of it alone. And I am tapping it. Look at what I'm doing. Just tap. I am not rubbing this because I don't want it to be patchy. And I'm going to just go back in again with the pink eyeshadow, but this time I'm going on the edges of where I put the shimmer. So I'm basically trying to blend it out. Now I said I wanted it to be harsh on the top, like to see the line, but I don't want the same thing for the sides. So now I am basically putting the pink shadow on the edge of the shimmer to kind of just bring the look together. This is what we're looking like after we have added more of that pink shadow to blend out the shimmer. And now I'm going to take the blending brush from earlier that I used for the transition shade and just give it another blend around. Like I said, I love to blend my eyeshadows. My bad makeup days are behind me, okay? So now I'm going to do my wing liner, and I'm using the Sharp Me from the Crayon case. Now I am not passing those crease lines in my eye. What you see me doing here is creating a little box. This is a guide. This tells me how high I should put my liner. And now I'm just placing my pen flat across my eye, doing thin lines in the inner part of my eye and just gliding it across. Now I'm going to fill in that little box there. Again, this is my guide, so I know not to go too high. And then I'm placing my pen inward, and whenever I want to make my wing bigger or extend it, I'm doing it from the base of the wing, not the top, because if you do it from the top, you can lose control of the situation. Now I'm just going to gently thicken it more and more to my liking, but not too big so that it covers my lid. Taking my concealer here to just act as a base. Under normal circumstances I would not do this, but because I didn't do my foundation, etc, etc, the color wasn't popping up, so I'm just putting it so that it will help my eyeshadow and my lash line be more vibrant. And I'm going to take my small dome brush to apply more of that pink shadow to my bottom lash line. Now what you see me doing here is I'm taking my pinky finger and I'm stretching my eye so that I can deposit the color on my lash line better, and I'm also tilting my head forward and down a little bit just so it can give me a little extra space to work with. Girl, don't lie, you know my lashes look bomb as hell, honey. Yes, okay. So now it's time to put mascara. Now I did not speed this part up, especially because I wanted you to see what I'm doing. I am placing the wand on my bottom lash line, I'm wiggling it, and then I'm gently pulling it. Did you catch that? Wiggle and gently pull, okay? And again, my head is tilted downwards just to give me an extra space to work with. And if I did do my whole face, I would do the same thing so that the mascara wouldn't go on my face, you know, and make those ugly dots. So wiggle and pull, okay guys, remember that. Do you see yourself doing a halo eyeshadow look in your future, girl? Look at this, what we created today. I had so much fun making this video for you guys. I'm just going to let you take a look at my smile. Yes, I was happy. So thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you on the next one, okay? Mwah. Also, don't forget to check me out on my other social media, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And in the meantime, you can always go ahead and check out these other videos. I've linked them right here for you. I've already made it easier. Come on, don't be lazy. Watch another video, okay? Thank you.